This is CleanTV, family-friendly news on demand. I'm Jerry McLaughlin reporting what's happening on Thursday, July 15, 2010. The defense team of former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich has been caught off guard by how quickly the prosecution is resting its case. Prosecutors have already called their final witness and have indicated that they will rest this week. Consequently, the defense has asked James Zagel, the judge in the case, for a recess of at least 1 week. But the logistics involved in rescheduling the testimony of high-level witnesses like White House Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel and White House Senior Advisor Valerie Jarrett are quite formidable, further complicating matters for the defense. Zagel has said already that he will grant 1 week under certain circumstances and seems to indicate that 1 week is the maximum recess time he's going to allow. Also making this news is testimony by lobbyist John Wyma, who had testified under oath that Rahm Emanuel contacted him and asked him to approach former Governor Blagojevich with the message from President-elect Barack Obama, saying Obama wanted Blagojevich to appoint Valerie Jarrett to the Senate seat. This is noteworthy because it provides even further evidence that Obama's claim in the days after Blagojevich's arrest on December 9, 2008, that he had no contact with the governor, and that it was a bold-faced lie, basically. Well, we'll now roll a tape of Obama's own words, and you could decide for yourselves after listening to what he says as to whether he did or did not say anything about contacting Blagojevich's office.
Gore has shared the information that he has with us, and I'm looking forward to a busy next couple of years getting getting our arms around this issue. Okay? All right, guys. That's it.
Were you aware at all of what was happening with your Senate seat?
Hold on a second, guys. I'll just answer this one question. I had no contact with the governor or his office, and so I was not aware of what was happening. And as I said, it's a sad day for Illinois. Beyond that, I don't think it's appropriate to comment. Okay? All right.
The defense filed a motion to subpoena Obama on April 22nd, but was denied so by Judge Zagel. Critics of the president say these inconsistencies bolster the case made in a motion to subpoena him. Notwithstanding the ruling on delay of trial, Zagel's rulings throughout the trial in matters involving Obama have consistently benefited this temporary occupant of the White House. We know that Obama's administration's plans to spend our way out of the recession with money that we didn't have just didn't work. Well, the question is, how much of that non-existent money has been squandered thus far this year, bailing out bankers, insurance companies, and who knows what else? I mean, we hear some items in the news, but there's tons of things that are bailed out that haven't even been reported. The answer might amaze you. Figures just released by the Treasury Department indicate that the federal government has built up a whopping deficit of $1 trillion thus far this year, and the year's not even over yet. There's 3 months to go. Oh, my goodness. This stunning debt could have been even higher, by the way, if moderate Republicans and Democrats and some conservative Republicans hadn't gotten together and blocked the creation of some of the federal jobs and long-term unemployment extensions and funds to cash-strapped nations. Nations too, but cash-strapped states in particular were denied. Obama's big spending ways were strongly rebuked at a meeting of the G20 summit in Canada, where leaders had instead expressed an interest in cutting government deficits worldwide, not increasing them. A judge has ruled that 2 Christians fired in the University of Texas at Arlington were praying for a fellow employee will get their day in court finally. The women were fired in 2006 for praying at work after hours for a coworker who was at that time not even aware of the desire to pray for her needs. Officials at the UTA in the Dallas suburb of Arlington claimed that the women were fired because praying for someone was a form of quote-unquote harassment. Well, Judge Terry Means of the Northern District Court in Texas says, quote, "Can someone pray for someone else, constituting a harassment of the alleged object of the prayer if they're unaware of it, unquote. And he added, this court suspects not. Well, the two women worked in the University Development Department and are now being represented by James Mader, the General Counsel for the Liberty Institute. Mader says, quote, these two women on their own time took the initiative to simply pray for peace and harmony in their office and were rewarded by being fired. We are glad that Linda Shivett and Mickey Shatkin will now get their day in court and are hopefully holding out that the truth will prevail. The Parents Television Council has slammed the Second Court of Appeals in New York for its ruling in the Fox versus FCC case, greenlighting the airing of unedited profanity at any time of the day on broadcast television. In April 2009, the United States Supreme Court held that the FCC's authority to apply the broadcast decency law on these so-called fleeting expletives on the public airways. The three-judge panel of the Second Circuit Court of Appeals has ruled that the FCC policy of allowing the government to issue fines against broadcasters is a clear violation of the network's First Amendment rights. Is it now? The decision stemmed from the case of rock singer Bono, who was a frontman, by the way, for YouTube back from the 80s and beyond. And Bono did use a profane word when he received an award during the live broadcast of the 2003 Golden Globes. Patrick Truman, former chief of the U.S. Department of Justice's Child Exploitation and Obscenity section, declared, quote, this ruling only increases the public's belief that the government is out of touch with the public and out of step with the U.S. Constitution, unquote. We are pleased to announce in another story that Kentucky attorney and, by the way, also a CleanTV contributor, Marcus Carey, has won a major battle in the defense of free speech today. Actually, yesterday, when it officially came down, but it's being publicized today, when the United States Court of Appeals struck down as unconstitutional several rules of the Kentucky Supreme Court, which Carey had contended violated the First Amendment. In the suit, Carey brought forth in his own name. He was represented by the James Madison Center for Free Speech through attorneys James Bopp Jr. and Anita Woodenberg. According to the decision, Carey was a candidate for the Kentucky Supreme Court in 2006 and censored himself under then existing rules that prohibited candidates in judicial elections from identifying their political party affiliation, particularly in raising money in fundraisers for campaign cash and answering questionnaires like those submitted to all candidates by groups like the Kentucky Right to Life organization. Today's decision affirmed Carey's position in the lawsuit that the Supreme Court of Kentucky was acting in contravention of the First Amendment. In response to the victory, Marcus Carey said, quote, I took an oath to defend the Constitution, and today's decision is a wonderful affirmation that I have been true to that oath, unquote. Judges in Kentucky are elected, by the way, by the public in general elections in November. So CleanTV asked Marcus Carey if he would ever consider running for judicial office again. His response? Never say never.